After beating New Orleans 27-13, the star of the game was Chargers rookie cornerback Eric Rodgers from Rutgers. Rodgers had 2 interceptions. He ran back 43 yards for a touchdown. The Chargers play the Rams Saturday afternoon at SoFi. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is scheduled to practice Monday for the first time in training camp if he's healthy. Stafford is trying to recover from a slipped disc in his lower back. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Give people what they want.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
For the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley Show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black out the Dina is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Midst of a celebration of life, death, and the stories of our ancestors. Check it out. Let me hear you say, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah. Supposed to hear us hype scene out of nowhere. Comes a woman I'm dating. Investigation, maybe she was demonstrating, but nevertheless I was pleased. My day was going great and my soul was
happy birthday, hip hop. Even though I don't agree that today's his birthday, but anyway, happy birthday, Miles. Miles, I know. Well, look, we have a special guest, and I'm happy she's here. And y'all do what you will on August 11th, Leo season 2025, Miles' birthday, almost Nipsey's birthday, almost Congresswoman Maxine Waters' birthday. I am really happy to have someone. We've been talking about getting this woman into the studio with us for forever and a day, and we finally made it happen. She wears many hats. She is a poet. She comes from generations of community activists, a graduate of Beverly Hills High School with a journalism degree from Howard University. The range. Yes. She's a world traveler, art lover, freelance writer, and completing her second poetry book, Love, Magic, and Maroon Moons. Stella the Poet, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, KBLA. Thank you, Tavis Smiley. Thank you for the vision.
Well, you know, you're a radio person, journalist, but I really came into contact with you more as a healer and spiritual practitioner first.
Yes. Have I put my hands on you before? No.
Not officially.
That sounds really funny.
I mean, you've given
that
me
sounds really strange. It's like,
I mean, you've given me a hug. You know what I
Okay.
mean? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I've never, but no, you've never done like hands-on healing, if that's what you're thinking about.
Well, I've been doing body work since 2001, and it's evolved over time. So I remember when I went to Bali, and I don't even remember what year that was, but they played Tibetan bowls on my body, and it was over. I became a massage therapist because I was working for the Congresswoman, Maxine Waters, and it was time for me to retire, and I was turning 40. And I said, you know, if I gave massages as well as I received them, I might be good at it. So that's what started the journey.
So, I mean, you're a poet.
Yes.
You're a healer.
Yes.
You're a journalist.
Yes.
You're an activist.
Yes.
How do you title yourself?
I don't really title myself. I do what I love, and people title me. I have been called a healer, but I haven't been on that side of the table. So I allow people to define me the way they need to. I mean, I started writing poetry, Dominique, because Donald Trump had become president of the United States, and I didn't know what to do with all that energy.
In 2016.
The
Not
first
in
book.
November.
First book was from that experience.
Right. True Shots and Ida's Brew.
Yes. And so I had to do something with that energetic. And the second book that's coming out, Love, Magic, and Maroon Moons, is ironically being published when 45 became 47. So it's a different experience now. But it's all healing for me. You know, it's healing for me. When I think about healing and I think about well-being, I think the only expert you can be is your own. I think that people can sort of guide you to where you need to be at that particular moment. But what may work now may not work later. Or what may work now needs to get deeper. And so, you know, part of this conversation is because I'm doing sound baths now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we'll get there. We have a lot to talk about. But so does it mean you kind of like owe President Trump something? Like
he's a great inspiration. I'm telling you. I don't know whether he'll ever really understand how inspirational he is. I did a series in True Shots and Ida's Brew. I did 4 parts to The Rage is Real. And I raged against Jim Crow. I raged against liars. I raged against, you know, I think mass shootings and sexism, you know, racism. I raged. And then I came to the evolution of rage.
Okay,
which is
and
loving.
what is that? Which is loving. So that seems like a huge evolution.
Yes.
I'm raging and then I'm loving. Like there's a bunch of steps in between, or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you've ever dealt with the hierarchy on the emotional scale in terms of what energetically feeds your energy, rage is so low and it's so depleting that if you're there, you have to move to at least whatever the next level above it is and not below it.
And what's the next level above it?
Probably anger.
Right.
Then
But a lot of people,
annoyance.
I mean, it's easy to get stuck in rage, right? A lot of folks get stuck there.
Well, there's a poem that never made it to either one of these books called Attachment, Anger Attachment. Do you want to be attached to anger and drag it everywhere you go? Anger is there to show you how to grow. I mean, what's the purpose of it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not it's not there for you to keep. It's not for you to hold. I mean, why? It doesn't make you feel good. Breaks your body down. I mean, we've all been there. And I think, those who have habitually become attached to anger are people who don't know what the really deep loving can feel like.
Interesting.
Because
we are seeking intensity.
It's interesting you say that because I went to church yesterday, go to guidance with Seth Pickens, and he was talking about how AI now has this component called haptics, HAPTIC, S. and how haptics now allows you to put on some AI gear where you actually feel the kiss on the cheek. You actually get the stimulation in different parts of your body for what you need. All of this
So it's like
is artificial.
It's fake human touch.
But you just said about intensity. We want to feel. I mean, people are cutters.
So pinch yourself. I mean, go do some sit-ups. Run a mile. B, you going to feel something.
Well, I think we are being deprogrammed out of our emotions.
Really?
And I think the only thing that,
'Cause that's like Scientology.
Well, you know what? When I was growing up, my father called the television the idiot box.
Yeah, I remember my mama used to say that too.
Okay. And now we're walking around with one of those things all the time. And if we don't have it, we feel lost. Mm-hmm. And it takes us outside of ourselves. It connects us. But there's nothing like the resonance in the heart of in a room full of people.
So AI haptics will kiss me on the cheek while telling me it loves me, and I can convince myself that I'm feeling a thing, but somehow that detaches myself from me and my emotional reality.
It's a girlfriend of mine, Ricky Byers, doesn't call it artificial intelligence. She calls it artificial intellect, because intelligence is not artificial.
Yeah.
And authenticity.
My kid says they're really just chatbots. They're not even that intelligent. But
well, let me tell you, people fall in love with those chat boxes.
I know.
They have relationships.
Yeah,
with
there
those
was even a marriage. A lady married AI. It really happened.
Well, I could see how it could be peaceful.
Not me. Golly,
but the point is, I need
peaceful some soul in my.
But that's part of the intensity. Some people don't want that intensity.
My thing. I need some funk, some soul,
chicka
chicka.
But you have to know how to process. You have to process through that.
Yeah.
You have to process through that. And when we open our legs, we open our hearts.
Kwamel says maybe Stella is calling smartphones the smart dumb phone.
Let's say this. They've done studies on artificial intelligence, and it's the dumbing of America. You're not becoming smarter, and you're absolutely right.
I have seen some studies about how when folks start relying on AI, they become less agile mentally, and it's just like I don't remember phone numbers anymore. I used to have phone numbers memorized. What is that part of my brain doing? Ordering on DoorDash? I'm not sure. But back to you.
Yes.
I said, what do you title yourself? You allow others to title you, but you work with people. You work with folks as a healer.
Yes, I work. I've been doing body work since 2001, and that's what I love.
Is it Reiki? Is it
I
massage?
I studied at the ISP, the Institute for Psychostructural Balancing, in Culver City, and they taught you Swedish. They taught you deep tissue. They taught you craniosacral. They taught you reflexology. I took all of that. I took polarity, the craniosacral, and then I do the work, and I receive from body workers, and I incorporate that in everything that I do.
And evidently it's helping folks, because people that work with you are very devoted to you.
Yes, they are. I've actually tried to
She said in a surprised voice.
No, she said I've tried to retire. There's just some people that won't let me retire. And because I love doing it, I have, a distinct clientele that I will say. And then I'll hug people, and I'll say, you need to come on my table. I mean, just strangers sometimes. You
trying to retire, but your spirit is telling you, work on this person. This person needs that.
Well, what's interesting was during the pandemic, and everybody was locked in. I could feel people's emotional fragility, and business, I can say, has increased because anxiety and stress is so incredibly high.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out a way to move through that energy. That's how we get sick. That's how we isolate and disconnect.
So from what you observe, we haven't bounced back from 2020 yet.
Matter of fact, I think 2020 prepared us for this moment in time.
Prepared us for 2025.
Yep.
So we're not even done going through the trauma to start bouncing back.
And I think, I don't even know what bounce back is. Let's just say that. I think it's a new...
Healing?
Healing is always about balance. And always in the middle of chaos, disaster, confusion, doubt, worry, you can always find balance.
All right. Well, Stella the Poet is here. We're going to get some poetry. We're going to find some balance. And as usual, I've got questions. You know how we do. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's one question every couple needs to answer. What if something happens to us? Kids, a house, a life you've built, but no estate plan? That's a risk you don't want to take. With Trust and Will, it's fast, secure, and easy to protect what matters most. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. Use code RADIO to save 20%. Check it off your list. One less thing to worry about. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs.
Picking up Oscar! This is Secret Clinical Dominating Extra Stinky Stress Sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
This is regular deodorant.
Ugh, I can't.
Secret Clinical with workout sweat.
Let's run another marathon.
And regular deodorant.
How much more?
Secret is the GOAT. Because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, thanks for waking up with Stella the Poet on KBLA Talk 1580. Some folks weighing in. We have a chat going as usual at KBLA 1580 on YouTube, where we're streaming live. You can see Stella the Poet and me. Wow. They are asking you, Willie Ellis wants to know if you could speak on vibration and how it affects us, which does kind of tie into the whole sound healing thing, because sound is vibration, and to me it's a reminder that everything,
is vibration.
Everything
is vibration. I have a friend who passed away, Theodosia, who always said, in the Bible it says in the beginning, and she said, I want to know what was there before the beginning. And it was the vibration. There's a resonance that people feel in everything. You can touch something and tell a story because it belongs to someone, like keys. So let me go with vibration. So when I used to teach in juvenile hall, I used to have my kids take their hands and rub them fast, and I'd have them clap. I'd have them rub.
You guys doing it with us? Do it with us.
Real fast. And then I'm going to tell you to stop. And when I tell you to stop, I want you to feel your hands. Pull your hands apart, maybe half an inch. Stop. You feel that energy?
Mm-hmm.
Bring it out as far as you can, feeling that energy. Play with it. Because I know your power, Dominique. Play with it.
Okay. Playing with it, feeling the energy.
That's your vibration.
Okay.
Now come share your energy with me. Don't touch
Sharing
me.
Energy.
Don't touch. Ooh, your hands are warm.
Yep.
Bring it out as much as you can.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Bring it
Feeling
in.
the energy. And Jerry.
That's vibration.
Jerry Anderson says low-key blasphemy. I guess he's referring to what you said about what happened before the beginning.
Oh, I don't know.
I just think that's...
I don't know what happened before the beginning.
I don't either, but maybe he's referring to the even just having the conversation.
You know what? It actually reminds me of, and I don't want to get into the book until you talk about the book, but it reminds me of the first poem in the second book I'm writing, Love, Magic, and Maroon Moons. And it's called The Sacred Yes. And there's a line in there about the Creator's yes. The universe is for me, not against me. The sacred yes, all needs are met. The sacred yes to the unknown before me, moving forward with no regrets. It's a knowing beyond a book, a Bible, Quran, or Torah. It's a knowing beyond thoughts or actions. The sacred yes is acceptance of divine order, grateful for kindness, and trusting blessings. So, there's this book that I read, because I don't quite deal with the whole blasphemy thing, but, my God isn't in a Bible. It's not in a book. It's in the eyes of the people that I see and the things that I touch.
Holding up the book right now, even though it's not available yet, right?
I have a new publisher, Dickson Publishing, Latino publisher, Black and Brown coming together to have a conversation.
All right.
We need to have.
So,
and then the first book
is available.
And that's one up. World Stage Press.
Yay, Stage Press.
Yay, Hiram Sims. Y'all support Hiram Sims and World Stage Press. He has published over 300 Black authors out of Leimert Park.
Wow, that's
Community
a lot of
Literature
folks.
Initiative. Mighty, mighty man.
I love that when, pressed about blasphemy, you go to a poem. And why not? The poem, you already talked about it in a poem. I want to circle back to this idea of rage, because we're dealing with vibration. We're talking about COVID, and Paul Lee points out in the chat over 1 million people died. People were stuck inside their houses. And I feel like some of the rage that we're faced with in this country right now is political, and the polarization, and our great inspiration, our dear leader, Trump. But some of it is also the anger or frustration from COVID, and the pressures that put on households and people. Some of it is financial. Parts of it are...
Those are still open wounds.
Racial reckoning that we're dealing with, and the constant killing of people. Say his name, Ezell Ford's anniversary is today. So I guess my question to you, now I'm talking to both Stella the Poet and Stella the Healer, is how do we move, if we're struggling to leave that low vibrational place of rage, how do we move out of that? Yes.
I can always say gratitude. Gratitude always moves me out of my rage. I rage what I can't control. So then you automatically go to what you can. So you can control your thoughts. You can control your actions. You can not allow... And that went to church, the haptics. You cannot allow to yourself to be swept up in the field.
Right.
You have to be able to touch the field. And so I'll touch the field and I'll go back to my well-being, because I'm an empath.
Which means technically, I think it's trendy right now to say you're an empath, but I know
it's not trendy.
It's not trendy for you. I'm just saying, like on social media,
right?
Empath means someone that can feel others,
and it's terrible. I don't want to say it's terrible to be one.
You might be feeling things you didn't sign up for.
You feel things you don't have control of, and then I learned as an empath, I can take the dial and turn it up or turn it down and turn it off if I have to.
That's good skill.
Yeah.
So, gratitude.
Yes, takes me out of my rage. Loving takes me out of my rage. Loving me, turning off the shit that makes, excuse my language, the things that make me, and I have a poem about, spiritual hits in time, SHIT, because it's time that we're getting hit on. But time is temporary.
Yeah.
So how do I walk in the past? How do I walk through the future staying in the past?
I mean, well, you make America great again. You keep looking back, and trying to make things old instead of doing Sankofa, which is look back to go forward.
Yes. That actually makes me think about Sankofa Park. Because connecting the past, the present, and the future is who Black people have always been. Where was God on the slave ships in the hulls?
Willie Ellis says, like the little girl in the parable of the sower, she was an empath. Yes. In fact, I'm reading that right now, Willie. It's my unofficial.
There's a show that's getting ready to open at the Afro-American Museum based on Octavia Butler.
Wow, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
That's the unofficial first book we're reading for my unofficial soft release of the Baraka Book Club. That's another story for another day. Morris says, my God is found in my heart, I guess, referencing the whole conversation about blasphemy. Mm-hmm. But jealousy, envy, comparison, rage.
It's all fear.
Fear.
It's all fear. It's all fear. Fear of what you can't control. For me, I know you're not. Anyway, there was a friend of mine, James Van Prague, who's a psychic reader, had a show called Beyond a long time ago. And he came over to the house to do the show. And he said, Stella, fear can either represent false evidence appearing real, which is what we know, through the, science of mind vibration, or it could be F everything and run. You got to know what it's about. It's like, what is this that I'm afraid of? If you can become curious about your anger, if you could
curious about your anger,
like, why is that? Why am I triggered by that? I don't even know that person, but why am I triggered by that? Because we're all suffering from past trauma, and we're talking about generational trauma,
right?
So I can understand the rage.
Yep. Well, so understanding it, and it's like the we're about to go into news, traffic, and sports, but it's like the stereotype of the angry Black woman. Well, sometimes we would be crazy not to be angry given the objective circumstances, but not getting stuck stereotyped or telling ourselves the same stories so that we're wallowing. I think those are two different conversations. We were talking about that last week with Dr. Shalonda Crawford. At what point is venting and raging healthy, and at what point does it become cutting a track for yourself that you then are stuck in, a rut that you live in? We'll answer that question. We're going to talk poetry when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News. Now, as students return back to school, parents will likely post lots of pictures and videos on social media platforms. Kira Delville with the Miami Police say there are some pieces of information parents may want to leave out.
Avoid putting your child's full name. Avoid putting the name of the school or the grade. Keep the information very vague because strangers could use this information to gain trust with your child, and we don't know what their motives are.
2 HBCU grads have created an app to help people expunge their records. Lawrence Blackman and Roger Roman launched a platform that can help users file a petition without a lawyer. The app is called Legalese. And Weapons is scaring up a huge opening weekend at the box office. The horror film earned $42.5 million in its first 3 days. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the tackle?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The LA Sparks got another W Sunday night. The Sparks' 94-91 win last night over the Seattle Storm is their 10th win in the last 13 games. Derica Hamby converted a layup with 5.6 seconds left in the fourth quarter to seal it. The Sparks at 15-16 have a chance to reach 500 for the first time since May 18th. They play the defending WNBA champs, the New York Liberty, Tuesday night at Crypto.com Arena. The Chargers are 2-0 in the preseason after beating New Orleans 27-13. The star of the game was Chargers rookie cornerback Eric Rogers from Rutgers. Rogers had 2 interceptions. He ran back 43 yards for a touchdown. The Chargers play the Rams Saturday afternoon at SoFi. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is scheduled to practice Monday for the first time in training camp if he's healthy. Stafford is trying to recover from a slipped disc in his lower back. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
Yeah, we don't. Stella the Poet is here. Her latest book, Love, Magic, and Maroon Moons. What a great name. The other book, Truth Shots and Ida's Brew. She's also a healer, sound bathologist, which is a term I just made up. A sound bath specialist, maybe?
No, actually, I bought a gong.
Ah, okay.
I bought a huge gong.
Okay, so you've started on the sound bath path.
Yes, but the people who are doing the sound bath on Saturday are sound bath experts.
So you, speaking of Saturday, you have an event Saturday. You're doing poetry?
Yes. No, I'm doing a sound bath Saturday with Regina Kimball over at Charles Dickson Studio Gallery, downtown LA. We're doing 2 sessions, one at 10:45 and the other one's at 1:45.
10:45 and 1:45, so folks can come and they can get.
They can
just participate in a sound bath.
They can stretch for about 5-10 minutes, and then they can receive the vibration. That goes back to the vibrational healing. What I love about sound is that it bypasses our minds, and it goes straight to not only the heart but our cells. So the healing modality now that's becoming more and more popular, sound healing, allows us to do something with that anxiety and that tension and that stress that we're feeling. For, half an hour, you can just be in a relaxed state and be at peace.
So, yeah, it's amazing. I'm not going to, I've told the story too many times, but I've had sound healing with my friend Sahar Ali, who does our Monday, Mindful Monday segments, and I found it really helpful.
I do too. There's Regina was doing one over here on Crenshaw and King, on the corner of Crenshaw and Crenshaw and King, and it was amazing.
I was surprised. I'm not going to lie.
I will listen. I've been to a few. Regina shifted me.
Yeah,
and I realized I realized that her spirit is in a certain kind of space.
Yeah,
and you have to have your spirit in a certain space in order to be a healer.
I mean, Sahara Ali and I have been friends for more than 20 years. She does yoga, she does all these things, and I was still giving her the side eye about sound healing.
That's why it bypasses the brain.
That's
okay,
when I tried it. It was like, oh, this is great. So if you want to find out more about this, you can go at Dickson Studio 4233 on Instagram. If they want to go, it's at the Dickson Studio at 10:45 and 1:45 on Saturday.
On Saturday, yes.
Stretch and get a sound bath.
Get a sound bath. Get a shower.
Okay. And what about the poetry? When are we going to hear you poetrying?
We're doing an event the next Saturday on the 23rd.
I thought
and
so.
We're calling it a poetic conversation. A brother named Albert Starr and another brother called Subject Matter. And I did a poetry reading at Charles's studio. And the poems talk to each other.
Nice.
And it was so nice. It wasn't just one poem after the, you know what I mean? It was a conversation with poems.
So this is also at the Dickson Studio?
Yes, on the 23rd.
And what time will that be?
That'll be from 1 to 3.
1 to 3. Okay. Afternoon poetry party conversation thing.
Yes, exactly.
Poetic conversation.
Poetic conversation.
Good things for you to go to. I feel like we need to, Novi HS29 says sound bath even works over the phone. I had one session by phone. It was amazing. That surprises me because I feel like the vibration of the gongs and all the things is part of what's going through my body. But hey, if it works for you.
Well, I think it works on a certain level.
Jerry says sound bypasses our minds in search of the vibration within, kindred souls searching for each other. Okay, whatever, it worked. You know what I mean? All that airy-fairy, I feel you, but what amazes me, but it works. And
it does.
And when you think about it, it makes sense. You hear a terrible song, it gets you in a bad mood.
Yes.
You hear a great song and you thought you could only do one more push-up and now you could do another 5 or 10.
Well, it's interesting because it's part of the vibration. When I teach, because I volunteered at LAUSD continuation school, I would have young people close, and even when I on stage in church, I'll have people close their ears and just hum their first name.
Ah, wow, interesting.
And you can feel, and you find the right tune, the right tone, the right harmony for your name.
Nice. First name.
Okay. And so. Then, if I'm in a classroom, I'll have them go to corners in the classroom, turn their backs, close their ears, hum their names, and then begin to sing their names softly. Just their first name, because that last name has all kinds of baggage. Just their first, because that's what they came in on. And I had a teacher in juvenile hall, her name was Consuelo, and she hated her name. And she said after she sung her name, she started crying. It was the first time she could embrace it because it's a vibrational frequency.
Mm.
You know, and we don't understand the power that we have within ourselves to do what we need to do to be at peace.
Yeah. If people are wanting to follow you, I know you're trying to retire.
Well,
but if they were trying to get like hands-on healing or sound bath or whatever,
they would do better just following
massage.
Instagram Stella the Poet 1
okay.
at Instagram.
All right. In other words, it's all under Stella the Poet.
Yes.
Stella the Poet, would you like to do a poem?
Sure. I would love to do a poem that Hiram Sims at World Stage nominated for a Pushcart Award. It's called The Magic of Black.
The Magic of Black.
Black crystal snowcaps melting on fertile red clay earth. Sun-kissed shackled souls delivered. Samba, spirituals, blues, jazz given birth. Sacred seeds planted in thundering oceans and bloody seas. Ancestral guidance in darkness is the magic of black to me. Mystic powers deepen, no royalty fanfare on the shores, deja vus, North Star published, souls visioning for more. The magic of black, it's in hellos, goodbyes, handshakes, and high fives. It's in Richard Pryor's jokes, the Texas hop, and the electric slide. It's in the watercolors and collages of Phoebe Beasley and the liberation of Aunt Jemima by Betty Saar. It's in the film genius of Ava DuVernay and the lyrical brilliance of Kendrick Lamar. It's in the silky tones of Nat King Cole. It's when the godfather of soul James Brown pleads, say it loud.
I'm black and I'm proud.
That's right. It's in Respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T by Queen Aretha, and in Colin Kaepernick's Knee. The magic of black, the womb of creation, the potential untapped. It's the black hole, the unknown. It's the origins of world sacred music and the rhymes and spoken word. It's in full moon native dances and baptisms down by the riverside. It's in rich soil where seeds are planted and encoded in the galaxies and stars. The magic of black, all colors fold into it, its wholeness absolute, invisible and intuitive. Rattling chains cannot stop ancestral dreams or murder its essence. It's in soul food healing. It's steeped in my daddy's turkey and collard greens on Thanksgiving. It's in sweet potato pie, green beans, oxtails, grandma's cornbread, and homemade ice cream. It's in the laying on of hands. It's in the songs and chants from Ricky B's The Land of I Am. It's in Mama Byer's wisdom like, everything always works out for those who love. And she'd say, child, no matter the darkness in front of you, the light is greater. Bear witness, confess, still and steady, mighty and mystical, immortal, invincible, ancestral loving is the magic of blackness. Black is the light in the dark.
Beautiful. Stella the Poet is my guest. We'll continue the conversation when we come forward on KBLA.
Thank you.
Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. Like, that's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights.
rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, my privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
Become a U.S. citizen with the help of the Los Angeles Public Library. Get free and confidential information on immigration and citizenship. Visit lapl.org/NAI to find your nearest library or call us at 213-228-7390. That's lapl.org/NAI or 213-228-7390 and start your path to becoming a U.S. citizen with the help of the Los Angeles Public Library. Call 213-228-7390 or visit lapl.org/NAI.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
We're talking with Stella the Poet at Stella the Poet 1 on Instagram, and she was just reading to us from her new book, Love, Magic, and Maroon Moons, and I saw your tears. And NoVHS29 says, I felt all the vibrations went through me. What are you channeling? What are you manifesting there?
I think anytime that we call up the ancestors, because I heard your opening.
That's me every day for years now. About 20 of them.
Yes.
I've been saying that.
Because those tears aren't just for me. Those tears are about releasing. Those tears always make me feel better.
To me, it reminds me of a prayer. Like, what's the difference between a prayer and a poem?
I don't really think there's any difference other than the intent.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I used to TA in her prayer class, and she said sometimes the most powerful prayer is thank you.
Yeah, that's the prayer I always say. April Sims says, Estella, your poetry always lands deeply while connecting to community and spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Sister does great juices. Yes.
So yes, she does. April's Life in a Bottle. April with Y. One of the things that we were talking about off the air that I wanted to bring on the mic is you worked at the California African American Museum. You actually managed Charles Dickson, the incredible sculptor.
That's all different kinds of. I worked at the museum at the very beginning days with Aurelia Brooks for 7 years. I used to do all kinds of things. Gallery service supervisor, public events, all kinds of stuff.
And you have,
and that's where I met Charles in 1989.
And you have a lot of artists in your circle.
Oh, I have a lot of artists in my circle.
And so you heard us arguing about whether or not graffiti art is art, and you wanted to add into that convo.
I wanted to just drop in that in Senegal they have graffiti schools. They honor the expression of youth. That what you see on those walls, those murals, are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that they have to have a voice to express themselves.
Apparently someone called in after that convo and to let Miles know to tell me that I'm ignorant. And I'm like, I've been ignorant. That ain't no breaking news. I mean, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's why we keep our phone lines open. But
Well, you know what's interesting? Let me say this. Downtown L.A., full of graffiti.
Right.
Charles has a studio. He could not possibly even think about putting anything outside because graffiti every day is always on his walls.
Right.
One day he came out and there was a guy spray painting his building. And he looked at him and he said, do you want to see some real art? You want to see some more? And that guy now follows Charles only because he took him inside and he showed, because there's so many ways to express yourself.
Right.
Who am I to say,
this is art and this is not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of my point, that art doesn't follow your rules. Never has and it never will.
It's the liberation tool for communities. Okay.
I mean, come on now. You're talking to the daughter of two poets. Okay, let's go to Dee calling us from Long Beach. Good morning, Dee. Thank you for your patience.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you? What's on your mind?
I want to talk about one of my 3 favorite subjects, which is education.
Okay.
I think that kids in middle school that psychologically qualified should be tethered to campus 3 times a week. You know, they come back for nurses and counselors and librarians. And then the other part of the week, they're working on projects.
Yeah, well, the project-based learning thing is we're kind of off topic here for Estella, but I know Estella works a lot in education, so you can follow this convo.
Well, my first thought is junior docent program, the California African American Museum, where we train young people to give tours and to learn about art and to express themselves in front of groups in a where they gain confidence. But I mean, the hands-on is essential for the integration of knowledge, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the project-based learning thing is real trendy, but it's not really, most of the time it's just BS. It's not really applied. As a mama, now I'm talking. I've seen them, this is project-based learning. Nah, you guys are still doing the stupid carceral, you have 2 minutes to go to the bathroom model of education. But I love that you said that, the docent program. I think part of it is the therapeutic healing effects of doing art. It's important for kids. Doing art, consuming art.
Learning about art. I do tours at CAM as a docent now, and they always have something set up in the atrium for young people to just sit down at a table and express themselves, because we don't have that opportunity in a classroom anymore.
Yeah, well, appreciate you, Dee. Let's go to Kwamel calling us from Gardena. Good morning, Kwamel. The king of Thursdays.
Yes, y'all already know I had to add, when the homie's on the air, that's the black signal for me. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Stella.
Hey, Kwamel. How you doing?
Yes. We be catching each other out here, yeah, I look forward to that event you got coming up with Albert and subject matter. I'm just hearing all the homies being shot. I'm like, oh no, we gotta support each other. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, yes, everything that's going on. I just love seeing you shine like this, and I just want to show appreciation as a fellow World Stage alum and World Stage Press author. So yes, please read us some more. I got to hear it. So I'm gonna take that off the air. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, Kwamel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kwamel. Appreciate the testimony, the energy. And Kwamel has inspired us to name our Thursdays, because we have Mindful Monday, Talking Point Tuesday, Wealth Building Wednesday, and Friedman Friday. He pointed out that Thursday doesn't have a name, so we're currently running a contest. If you want to vote, go to Instagram, weigh in the comments. Please pick 1, not 5, and then we'll have a poll on Thursday between the top 2 vote getters and name our Thursdays.
Thankful Thursdays. That
is a contender. So I love that. There's Stella the Poet's vote. I think the work that you're doing, both poetry, I shouldn't say both. There's multiple: poetry, arts education, hands-on healing, the sound healing piece, the massage, all of these different modalities, and I'm probably forgetting a few. Seems more important than ever. Every day on this show, I've said we're going to take a pledge of fearlessness, courage being contagious, at least in this era. what can you prescribe to the KBLA delegation to help us stay courageous?
That's so funny. The first thought I had was what I would do with my kids. I would give them the word courage, write it out on a board, and have them give me a letter that represents each word that can reflect courage. So how do you stay courageous within yourself? How do you stay confident? How do you stay open? Because these are all things that you need for courage. It's like not believing yourself all the time. You know, your ego will take you into fear because that's what your trauma is. You know what I mean? So, you know, how do you take the word courage, the C-O, and the U, which is a unified field? Because when you're fearless, and even when you're fearful, courage still has to get you to do it, you know, to make that first step. So how do you form a relationship with courage? Oftentimes when I'm training, you know, young people at CAM for being a docent, I say what you have to say is more important than who you think you are. Sharing that information is more important. So just get out of the way. You know, how do you have courageous conversations? Because that's generally, courageous conversations are about not necessarily understanding courage as much as it is making that step to have a conversation that you may think is difficult. And oftentimes courageous conversations have to do with different values. You know, I may value honesty and you may value secrecy. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or vice versa, right? Understood.
So I would break courage up into an acronym, and I would define it. I would define it for myself.
Love that. Time flies when you are on the radio. You know that because you come from the radio. But let me remind you, this Saturday at the Charles Dickson Studio, which is at Dickson Studio 4233 on Instagram, at 10:45 and 1:45.
Yes, and it's Dickson, Dickson.
There will be a sound bath.
Yes.
And the community is invited.
Yes.
And then the following Saturday,
we're doing Poetic Conversation.
Yes. From 1 to 3 with Albert Starr, subject matter, and Stella the Poet.
And some guests, hopefully.
Some
I'm
other
sure.
special guests.
Yeah.
We got to leave it right there. Tavis Smiley is next. Thank you so much for coming in,
It's been
Stella.
delightful. Thank you.
It's been great. We'll have to do it again.
Yes.
Look, like my mama, the late, great Diane DiPrima used to say, history is now. Like I always say, we're making it together. Let's keep the conversation going on all the social media platforms. We're at KBLA 1580 everywhere. I am at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. Happy birthday, Miles. All y'all Leos, roar up. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News. Now, as students return back to school, parents will likely post lots of pictures and videos on social media platforms. Kira Delville with the Miami Police say there are some pieces of information parents may want to leave out.
Avoid putting your child's full name. Avoid putting the name of the school or the grade. Keep the information very vague because strangers could use this information to gain trust with your child, and we don't know what their motives are.
2 HBCU grads have created an app to help people expunge their records. Lawrence Blackman and Roger Roman launched a platform that can help users file a petition without a lawyer. The app is called Legalese. And Weapons is scaring up a huge opening weekend at the box